These are the upcoming speakers. So Arvel's going to be here next week, and then the following week we have Reverend Rich Rogers is back. He's very popular from Unity of Fame, so I hope you'll come and see him. He's wonderful. And following that we have Reverend Renee again, back by popular demand, and out of love she has decided to do this, and hopefully no alarms will go off outside this time. Bless her heart, that is one professional, dogged woman. She is good. And then Arvel's back on November 5th with Beyond Religion, Part 4. So here's a message from Arvel.
Hello to everyone at See You Well. Reverend Kimberly and I are back in Arizona after the wedding of my daughter in Arkansas last Saturday. Even though we had to be gone, we're still very much in touch with all the good that's happening at See You Well. I'd like to give a heartfelt thank you to our away team that coordinates the service while we're gone and really keep all the wheels turning. We couldn't do it without them. Now please join me in prayer for our world, especially Las Vegas and all the victims and their families. The violence and hatred are hard to comprehend. So please do a soul check-in. And don't react in hatred and anger. Give that over to the Creator. Then do something to turn violence and hatred around. Be a friend. Take your kids or a dog to the park for a picnic. Visit your parents. Mow your neighbor's yard. Give a sick friend a call. Make a positive spiritual difference by shining your light. Because light is love, and love is the most powerful force in the universe. When you meditate or pray, pray for wisdom and guidance for us all. One of the greatest teachers on earth was Joshua ben Joseph, who said, "The kingdom of heaven is within us." From the Unity Church's 12 powers, we affirm that heaven is an experience which is immediately available to us whenever we align our souls through our thoughts and feelings with the awareness of our divine inner nature and our oneness with the Great Spirit. As world events unfold, Kimberly and I continue to reevaluate and redefine why we're here and how we can be of service. On a weekly basis, we continue to bring you amazing guest speakers and musicians. Don't you agree?
Yeah. Yes.
So as our 6th-month anniversary at the Center of Universal Light is upon us, we continue to refine and redefine our vision, our mission, and our core values as we grow and see our CUL community grow too. Our vision, which is what the destination will look like when we get there, is empowering individuals to reveal their divine consciousness and restore love in themselves, the community, and planet Earth. The key words here are empowering, reveal, and restore. Our mission, which is how we're going to go about fulfilling our vision, is this. We present ways for people to come into the realization of their true nature and alignment with higher consciousness, which results in a greater influence on humanity. Keywords here are realization, alignment, and results. Our core values are absolute trust, integrity, respect, self-love, and as always, divine consciousness. Over the last 6 months, we have brought many tools and ways to achieve our vision for the new earth, as Kay has spoke of last week. Among the many topics of wisdom we have brought forward are how do we use resurrection on a daily basis in our lives? Plus, the first step in our own resurrection is the acknowledgement that we are a spiritual being and that all things are, in essence, spiritual. I spoke about fear and how the opposite of fear is peace, and how to step into our fearless self Be our fearless self and let nothing stand in the way of our perfect life experience. I talked about how to step into our soul's purpose by first learning to love ourselves. Then I began introducing you to the way of the spiritual warrior and how the battle of the spiritual warrior is the mastery of self. All the time during these first 4 weeks, we learned about the medicine wheel and how we live our lives according to each direction. Spiritual warrior learning continued about their discipline, their mental focus and persistence, plus an 11-point list of characteristics of the new spirit warrior. Then on June 11th, we held the ceremony of the spiritual warrior and saw the congregation rise to accept their commitment to self, the community, and planet Earth. Then we got into cosmic religion with Einstein's message of the religion of fear, the social moral religion, and finally, the cosmic religion of pantheism, where nature is the manifestation of the divine. We had a come to Jesus meeting where I bore my soul to you. We studied imagination. We studied the mastery of love. I taught the 5-step spiritual mind treatment prayer. And we talked about angels, Christ consciousness, hopes and dreams versus our destiny, and most recently, about clearing our shadow. And that's just me. We've had a discourse on Sufism, on Judaism, and Native American wisdom, plus 6 former and current Unity Minister speakers. I'm away this weekend because I'm at the new Men's Warrior Adventure in Prescott to reinforce the 4 agreements that I live by and to be of greater service to the men in our community. But CUL will not survive on the efforts of 1 or 2 leaders. It will only survive on the quality and commitment of its village of volunteers. Right now, it's your turn to help us lead our CUL community into the future. We need volunteers for audio, video, slides and lighting, setup, cleanup, fundraising, steering committee, and team leaders, which are all critical to our mission. Volunteers will help our village expand and grow, and in truth, the opposite is also true. Reverend Kimberly and I look forward to the next 6 months of deepening involvement of the membership and the continued creation of the Healing Spiritual Center, anchored in the New World vision of an intimately interconnected self with the whole earth and all life. In peace and love for self, the community, and planet Earth, thank you. I'm Reverend Arnold Bird.
You like his little smiling movie there? Yeah. Hi there. Blessings to everybody this morning. This is a 4 Directions prayer. It is Lakota. So I thought I would read it for you this morning. It's really beautiful. Creator, we thank you for today's sunrise, for the breath of life within us, and for all your creations. As the day begins with the rising sun, we ask Spirit Keeper of the East, Eagle, to be with us, to carry our prayers to the Creator, and give us eyes to see the truth. Spirit Keeper of the South, Wolf, be with us. Help us to remember to love and feel compassion for all mankind. Spirit Keeper of the West, Bear, bring healing to the people through physical, mental, and spiritual balance, and help us to know our place on Mother Earth. Spirit Keeper of the North, White Buffalo, be with us. Help us to surrender with grace the things of our past and find serenity and comfort in silence. Mother Earth, we thank you for your beauty and remind us never to take more than we need and always to give back more than we take. Aho.
Imagine yourself in a large field. Smell the flowers. Hear the birds. Feel the warmth of the sun on your face. And just relax. As you begin to walk through the field, off in the distance you see a mountain. And you walk slowly towards that mountain. It's a beautiful day. Blue sky, clouds. Continue to feel the warmth of that sun, feeling relaxed and calm. No worries. Everything's left behind. Let it all go. Let it go.
If you knew your potential to feel good, you would ask no one to be different so that you can feel good. You would free yourself of all of that cumbersome impossibility of needing to control the world or control your mate or control your child. You are the only one who creates your reality. For no one else can think for you. No one else can do it. It is only you. Every bit of it you.
So, is this on? Hello? No? Yes. Okay, so my question to you is, how are you walking empowered in this uncertain world? Where do you find your empowerment? Where does it reside for you? In order to walk empowered, you have to know who you are. So, at the core of your being, you are energy. And with that, you can never be disconnected from the divine source of energy. Nor can you be disconnected from everybody in this room and everything in the entire world and universe. Pretty awesome, huh? Well, there's a beautiful quote by Paramahansa Yogananda that I will read to you. He says, our physical form is made of molecules. Molecules are made of atoms. Atoms are made of electrons, and electrons are made of life force, or lifetrons. Countless billions of specks of energy. With your spiritual eye, you can see the body as a mass of scintillating specks of light. The energy that is emanating from your 27,000 billion cells. Only through delusion do you see the body as solid flesh. In reality, it is not matter, but energy. So you are energy, and a lot of scientists know this, that this podium, that chair, it's just tiny atoms that is vibrating at a frequency. And so if we are energy, there's a way that we can think of that. We were energy beings, and we came down and we slipped into this. Okay? We slipped into this body, and we came down here, and then everything started happening differently for us because we started feeling. We started having emotions, we started having hunger, we started having thirst, and then we started having anger, and we started looking at everybody else as if they were somebody different. But they're not. We were all this floating energy up here, and we came down into this body to this beautiful amusement park of Mother Earth. Okay? And some of these rides are really scary. Okay? And we want to get off, and we want to leave, and we don't want to be here anymore, and that's terrible. And then the roller coaster ends, and we get off, and then we get on the merry-go-round. And the merry-go-round is really nice because it's very peaceful. It just keeps going around. But then it gets boring, doesn't it? So then we create another ride, okay? Because we need to grow in our spiritual awareness as a human being. So if you really know who you are, I would like to show a picture. This is a painting by Alex Gray. That's you. That's really who you are. I had an experience of this when I was 5 years old. I lived on Long Island, and I was always outside in nature. And there was this beautiful bush. Does anybody know what a forsythia bush looks like? It has all these little yellow flowers and has all these branches that go this way and that way. Well, I crawled into it, and I sat down, and I crossed my legs, and I closed my eyes. And then I disappeared. Wow. It was amazing, because all of a sudden I didn't have a boundary of my body. I was part of the bush. I was part of this energy thing that was around me. And then I was part of everything. But I was me. I was my consciousness, but I was part of everything. And that was the beginning of me looking into the world from a different place. A place of energy. And then as a 5-year-old will do, you keep going on and you live your life. But in between, there were phases where this would come in and out of my life. And I would realize who I really was. And so, from that place, I began to take studies and do different things as I grew up. But the thing that I understood is that we are connected to everything, and there is an impossibility of disconnecting from anything. So with that, there is empowerment. Because with that, we know that we can connect with anything in this entire world. So I can give you an example. In 2006, I moved here. And there were all these fires going on at that time. And they were closing some of the trails. And everybody's saying, oh, pray for rain, pray for rain, pray for rain. And I woke up one morning and I said, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to pray for rain. I'm going to find out why. So I went into meditation, and what I did was I connected with the fire and the trees. And I connected with them. And I said, what's going on? Okay? And the fire answered. The fire answered and it said, the trees called us. Oh, okay, that's different. I've never heard that before. But in the world of energy, there's a different language. There's a different way of knowing. And so I said, well, why is that? And they said, well, the trees were being disrespected. They needed to do something to wake people up. Oh, okay. So what I learned from that, I asked, well, what can I do? Is there something I can do to help out? And it said, send love. Just send love. So that's what I did. I didn't pray for rain. I didn't do any of the things everybody was telling me I should be doing. But I knew I had to send love. And I knew that everything is alive, and even the fire and the trees have a relationship. And even the oceans and the air have a relationship. And so when Irma was coming around, I sat with 2 other people, and we connected with Irma. We connected with the water and the wind. And we said, what's going on? What can we do? I said, nothing. We have to do this. This is something that has to happen. Okay? We're part of this universe, too. This is going to happen. We're going to change direction a little bit because you connected with us. And we're going to, the winds are going to calm down a little bit. Out of respect. But we have to happen. So there are things in this world besides us and our way of thinking that we might not understand, but we can find that understanding in communing with nature. communing with the elements, communing with the situation, to find out more about how can we be empowered knowing that these things are happening. Okay? So, there's a beautiful story it's a Cherokee story about two wolves and a grandfather who is teaching his grandson. Because if you're going to be empowered, you have to know where you're putting your power, right? So this Cherokee grandfather is teaching his grandson. And he says, "Grandson, there is a fight going on inside of me. There are two wolves fighting inside of me, and it's happening inside of you too, and everybody else. And the first wolf is evil, he's angry, he's resentful, he's greedy, he's jealous, and he doesn't know how to love. And the second wolf is beauty. He's compassion, he's joy, he's laughter, and he's love. And these two are fighting all the time. And the little boy said, well, which one's going to win? Which one's going to win? And the grandfather said, the one you feed. The one you feed. Your empowerment is being used by you every single moment, by every single thing that you think, do, or say. You are empowering whatever it is that you are thinking about. So if you are thinking about it with love, you're empowering that with love. If you're thinking about it with hatred, you're empowering it with hatred. I used to teach this to my children, and they were young teenagers, and they would come home from school and say, why is that person so mean, Mom? I can't understand it. He's always hurting somebody or doing something. And I would say, well, that person doesn't have any love. He probably doesn't have love at home. So why don't you send him love? You don't have to be friends with that person, but just send them love when you see them acting out like that. And then one day I walked through the TV room and my kids were watching, the news was on, and I went, oh, jeepers. And they looked at me and said, Mom, if you don't like that person, why don't you send them love? And I said, oh, I was so proud. My kids listened to me. They actually were listening to me, but they were reminding me. And that's what I do with my spiritual friends. We remind each other. If we see a situation we're going through, we say, well, how can we work with energy to help this situation? Because if we are this, and we are connected to everything, we are everything. There's no them and us. Oh, that person over there, or that person over there. No, they're a reflection of something that we have inside of ourselves. And if we send them love, we don't have to go live with them, we don't have to take them into our home, but we send them love and compassion and understanding. They didn't have the background you have. They didn't have the love that you have to be who you are. There's a great quote by Gandhi that is, be the change you wish to see in the world. Yes. So that is our empowerment. Our empowerment is being used at every moment. We can be that change just by being who we are and being real with who we are. If we have an upset, we can turn it around because we're energy beings. One time I was going out to facilitate a Reiki gathering at somebody's home in East Hampton, and I had a 20-minute ride, and right before walking out the door, what do I have? An argument with my husband. Okay, right. Feel really great, feel really good about going to a Reiki circle and being a shining bright star when I feel like, oh, please, again, come on. So I sat in the car and I drove for 20 minutes, and then as I'm driving, I'm going, okay, I'm not going to go there this way. I don't even like myself. So what did I do? I worked with energy. I worked with my energy to let me know how much I loved myself. How beautiful I felt inside about who I was. How wonderful it was to meet with these women and share Reiki with them. How wonderful it was that they asked me to come to their home. And I went on and on and on and on. And by the time I got to that door, I was a shining, glowing star. I was beautiful and I loved life. Okay, I turned it around. I walked in that door and the first person said, what did you do to your hair? Is something different? And then the next person said, oh, what did you do? Did you do makeup different or something like that? Everybody noticed something. Why? Because I showed shifted my energy. And you have done that yourself. You've seen it in yourself. You are energy. You are empowered. And every moment of your day is an empowerment to something. To something. So, I want to share another story. And this story is about my son. Because we might not be able to change what happens in the world, but we can help. I woke up one morning to 4 angels up in here above me, and a vision of my son in a car, in a sedan, having a head-on collision with a truck. Well, you can imagine where I went. And so what happened, I said, okay, how can I take this away from him? You showed me this, how can I take this away from him? And they said, you can't. I can't take this from him? No. His soul was calling this to him. And I was given a message that this was going to happen. So what did I do? I sat in love. I sat in love for my son. I sent angels, I pictured angels around him every single moment of the day. Every time he came to my mind, I sent love. I loved him and I loved him and I loved him, and I sent white light around him. Every time I thought of him. But I knew I was not to tell him of this. 2 weeks later, my youngest son goes out to the driveway. There's a sedan and there's a van in the driveway. My other son goes out and says, hey, don't take the sedan today. Take the van. I'm going to take the sedan up the island. It uses less gas. And so my youngest son gets into a van instead of a sedan. He's in this high van. And 5 minutes later, I get a phone call. Mom, I had an accident. I said, are you all right? He said, yes. 5 minutes, we're out the door. He's 5 minutes away. He had swiped somebody that was close to the line, went into the other lane because the car went out of control, and he smashed right into a truck. But he was not in a sedan. He was in a van, and that truck that hit him did not go into his face. He didn't even have a scratch on him. Not one scratch on him. He didn't even have a muscle that hurt. He's 16 years old. We cannot take people's lessons, soul journeys away from them. But we can do something when we know about it and when we see something happening. And it will shift the energy of that just through love and connection and respect. We can change the definition of what an argument is by sending it love. If we go into, a lot of people say, oh, don't go into Walmart. Oh, it's terrible, it has terrible energy. So every time I go into Walmart, I go, yeah. And I start glowing. Because guess what? If the energy is not good there, but I need something in Walmart, I'm going to go. It's life. But I can make it a wonderful time. I can have a great time wherever I am. If I choose to be empowered consciously. Because here is the key word, is consciously. We are empowered. We are part of the divine. We can't not be anything but. We are energy beings having this human experience. And we're having a difficult time right now. But we don't have to. We can use everything that we do consciously. And that's what we're being asked to do on planet Earth at this time. That's why all of you came here to planet Earth on this time, is to be a conscious, empowered being of light. So, one of the things that, there's a beautiful book by Neville called Immortal Man. And he brings awareness to what I call affirmative visualization, where you become that which you want to see, and you feel it within yourself. And that's what I've done many times with my children, and I do it today with my grown children. I visualize and I feel love for them, I feel success for them, I feel them getting the job they want, I feel them having the joy and the love in their life. And whenever I think of my children, I feel that. I have a friend who always tells me what her son can't do. She always tells me how, oh, I hope he holds on to this job. Well, she's always talked about this all her life with her son. So we get to do it differently now and consciously right now. And there is something I'd like to take you through, and that is a visualization meditation. Oh, before I do, I want to tell you about the angels. Because I've been taught that the masters, the angels, they don't want any mamsy-pamsies on this planet. And that's probably why you've all had some challenges. And I got this message loud and clear one day when I was sick. And I was lying in my bed and I could feel this energy just ripping at me. And I was in pain. And I didn't know what to do, and I looked up and there were 4 angels up there, and I go, oh, come on, help me, do something. You've got to do something. And they're just looking at me. What's that? What's that about? So I curled up on my side, and I said, I don't understand. And all of a sudden I got an idea. I'm going to put a Reiki symbol right on my solar plexus. And as I drew that Reiki symbol on my solar plexus, my whole body expanded, my whole energy expanded, and that pain left. And I looked up and there were the angels again. They were just looking at me. And I got it. Okay, they're not in the physical. They can't do what we can do. We are here to do the things in the physical world with our energetic empowerment. We're not supposed to be hanging on to somebody's shirt tail saying, oh, well, how come you didn't help me? How come you didn't help me? Because we're in this physical body, in this physical plane of existence. So we have to be empowered as these energy beings to do something in the physical world. And that's why we're here. This is the whole game. This is the joy of being here, is finding out that this is who we are, and we can do anything with it. Anything, just by a thought. But just by an intention, just by a feeling. We are doing everything. We're doing everything and we're creating this world. It's not them out there creating this world. We've already created it. We created it with our past life feelings and our actions, and now we came back to do it differently. And so thank you for coming. Because it's wonderful to have you doing this, knowing that you're this energy being who is consciously empowered. And that's why we're here. So I'm going to take you through a meditation, and here's another picture. We're going to do this, because it is time for you to walk consciously empowered in the world. And I'm going to take you through a meditation, a guided meditation, to do just that today. Okay? So if you can just uncross your legs, put your both feet on the ground. And I'm going to ask you to feel this visualization as I talk about it. As you close your eyes, breathe deeply and relax into your physical body. I want you to visualize coming from the source of all that is above your head, a beautiful golden pillar of light. Feel it coming down through the center of this room. Feel it moving through the floor and moving down below your feet and down into the earth. This beautiful pillar of light. And then I ask you to visualize coming again from Source, this beautiful golden wave of light down through your crown chakra, moving down through your body. Breathe. Moving down through your torso, through your legs, and down, connecting you to the center of Mother Earth. Feel this in your body and around you. This golden, vibrating light. And then I ask you to become aware of your heart space. And from your heart space, feel a golden thread of light coming out to the center of this room and connecting you to the center pillar of light. You are the golden wheel of light, connected to Source, connected to Earth. You are vibrating this golden light of love. And now I ask you to visualize the Earth in front of you, as if you are looking at it from outer space. And I want you to feel love. Just send it to the Earth. Just send that golden light of love to the Earth. Feel it going into the trees, into the mountains, into the waters, into the air, into the clouds. Feel it going into the core of Mother Earth, this love and gratitude, for she feeds us, she nurtures us. Then feel it going into all the animals. The two-legged, the four-legged, the creepy-crawlies, the fin, the furred, and the winged. All the animals. This beautiful, loving light going into them. And then all the animals in the sea. And then feel it going into all the people that you love. And then feel it going into all the people you do not love. All the people you have an issue with. Stream them with love. Stream them with love. See them as a little puppy or a little child that doesn't know any better. And send them love. Hold them in love. And anything that you can think of that you need or want to send love to, send love to that now. And then send love to yourself. Send love to all those times you weren't the best self, and all the times you were. Send that to yourself. Hold yourself in that love. And breathe deeply. And continue to feel this love as you go around for your day today. And right now, bring your attention back to your physical body here in this room. Move your feet, move your arms, make sure you're in your body before you leave today. And I want to thank you all for being the conscious, empowered people that you are. The world is here because of you, and you are here because of the world. Thank you very much.